guys, we're going to be talking about today what to do when you get your old 1022 given to you by grandpa or your dad or something, and you want to get it and look into something cool. How do you do that? Fastest way to do that is to buy one of those Archangel Kits, Nomads, and totally change the appearance to the gun. Like always, when you get a firearm, you need to make sure, absolutely sure, that it is unloaded. How do you do that? Well, you pop out the magazine, pull back the angle, there's nothing in there. On a 22, I always like to poke into the chamber as well, make absolutely sure that nothing is there. Now we're working with a safe gun and we can actually start working. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna disassemble the 1022. First thing we need to do is take the barrel band off, move that to the side. Then there's a screw on the bottom. Now it's free. The way that these guns come out of the stock is that the stock lifts up in front, but the safety is gonna be in the way. So you're gonna have to move the safety halfway between on and off in order to actually slide off there. We can clearly see on the inside here that the gun is very, very dirty. There's two pins here, they hold in the trigger guard. Start by pulsing them out. You can just simply pull them out by a little bit of a punch there. Take that one out, it's very dirty as you can see. There's a pin in the back end here. This one is what we call the bolt pin. We need to drift that one out. Comes out fairly easy. Move the bolt assembly all the way back. Push it upwards. The bolt comes out. The spring and the guide comes out now. And the whole thing is now disassembled. Then we're going to remove that scope that looks like a 57 Chevy on us. And we're going to take that one out. For the base, it's very important that you use the proper size screwdrivers, because otherwise you're going to make them strip, or you're going to have to go and start drilling and tapping out of it. Now that one is out. Everything is okay on the inside. The next thing that we need to do to this is that we have to install a new bolt lock and new magazine catch onto that trigger guard. We need to start drifting our pins, and this is where that thing can go a little bit south. Pull one pin out of here and the spring comes loose. Not a big deal, just need to make sure that the spring is there. The secondary pin comes out, and then we can pop up the old one. You see there's a difference between the way that the old one and the new one looks like. And here comes the magazine release, and you see this is the old style. So this one will be way easier to maneuver in place. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to drop this one in, and with all the pins out of the way, we can actually drop that all the way down and make sure that it comes all the way up. Press this plunger inwards and we will put this one in, and it hooks on underneath that one as well. So then we can have it in the right place. We line up the pinholes. The secondary pin that we need to put in place, and the best way to put that one in, I find, is thread it through the sides that is there first, and then you capture the spring underneath the whole thing, and now it's already done. To install this one back into the gun, I like to put a little bit of oil on top of it. Now in reversed order from what we did, push that one in there, push that all the way to the back and hold it in. See the nods here, goes on top of that one. Put that in the back, and we let go like usual. Take the bolt stop, put that one back in again. Put the whole entire trigger assembly on. Now we take the chassis. There's a little bit of a notch back there, and that notch has to go straight into here. Let's see if we manage to do that correctly. And there it basically sits. You put the stock screw in place, and then you can actually check, and you can take the barrel and push it back and forth like so. And if the gun lifts up in the back, then we don't have a secure lockup as we need. In this case, it's all good. The second piece that comes on is the top end here. See right when you get it onto so that it will not fit. Now, why won't it fit? Well, that's pretty easy. We got the sight here still, and we'll get the sight on front. Make sure you got a good support, and it taps out pretty easy. Give it one to start. And grab onto it, and that popped out as well. This thing will slide into place. It is held in by 2 screws at the front. Make sure when you're tightening this down that you don't tighten everything down at once, because if one gets all the way tightened in and the other ones haven't caught on, then you might actually be crooked on the thing and it doesn't line up perfectly. Make sure that the bolt action is still working back and forth. And you push it through. There's a screw on the side here, and then the screw like so. In the kit, there are 4 screws that are 648 threads. They go down to the top right here, and these ones actually go into the old scope settings that were here before. So we got all the 4 screws in there. Still got full movement. That means that the bolts do not go in and touch the inner materials of it. Give it a little bit of a tap, and then make sure that they line up into the 45-degree cut here. We got these washers. One of them is threaded, one of them isn't. So we put those threaded ones on that side. Screw goes through on the other side. On the back end of this. There we go. And the last one. Now that's in there. It's pretty simple. It's got a flat space on one side, and the flat space needs to go right on top of that. If you look at it at this angle, there's a little bit of a hole here that pin goes into. That pin goes right into the seat where the sight was located before. And now that's securely in there. And magazine goes in. And we're done.